Hey, what is up, guys? This is Bo, or Carl Hungus712, and today I'm bringing you some pretty good gameplay here in the background. We're going to be doing a little domination here on Flak Tower. I end up dropping 53 or 55 kills on this game. A lot of fun. We're playing the legendary Rush Limbaugh on the other team. Obviously, it's not really him, but Mike and I noticed that right off the bat when we joined, so that was kind of funny. End up using the PPSH, and this is actually one of my favorite maps in this game, so I think you guys will like the gameplay in the background, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But it's sounds like it's going to be a pretty good year this year for Call of Duty again. It looks like, or I guess it's confirmed now, that Black Ops 4 will be the next Call of Duty. The community trailer or whatever, that'll go live in May. And then we're actually getting the game early this year, which I think is kind of interesting and something I'll talk about in this video as well. We're getting the game, what is it, October 12th? Because usually the way it works is we get it in November. Usually every November releases on a Friday. And, of course, we get to play it all weekend, which is pretty nice. But yeah, this year, like I said, we're getting it early. It's going back to Treyarch, who I think is the best developer when it comes to the three studios. So I think, like I said, they always do a great job, in my opinion anyways. I think they do a phenomenal job with Call of Duty. But just to start off with, yeah, it's going to be Black Ops 4. One thing I wanted to discuss today for sure is that you know, again, we're getting the game early, October 12th. Which I can only think of a couple of different reasons why we're getting the game early. One isn't as big of a deal, and one, of course, is a bigger deal. One of the reasons, and I know if you guys have been reading up on it or anything, you guys know that Red Dead Redemption will be coming out, I believe, in November, right? Or is it later October? I can't remember exactly. Definitely going to buy that game. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I didn't really get to play Red Dead Redemption. I had a buddy that I watched him one night at his place. He was playing it. It looked like a fun game. Basically, the way he described it for me, anyways, was Grand Theft Auto, but you're in the Wild West. So that sounds fucking awesome. Definitely excited for that. But either that's the case where they're worried about sales and competing with that, or World War II is actually doing quite poorly, which I hope isn't the case, because I know it's kind of the cool thing nowadays for most YouTubers, even content creators that make Call of Duty videos, which I find kind of funny. It's you know, it's the cool thing to basically bash the new COD. I don't think this is obviously the best Call of Duty we've ever had. I don't think it's anywhere close to that, but I do think it's a playable game. I think after the patches and the updates they've done to the game, I don't think World War II is that bad of a game. Like I said, you know, it'd probably be in the bottom half if I was to make a list of all the Call of Duties I've played from COD 4 onward or COD 3 onward. You know, this obviously wouldn't be at the top, but I don't think this game is that bad of a game. I really don't, after the patches and stuff. But if that's the case, Treyarch's definitely got a lot on their hands. Like I said, they always seem to deliver. You know, we had Black Ops, or we had COD 3, excuse me. COD 3 was their first one, which I know got a lot of hate. We had World at War, which I loved. I thought World at War had some of the best maps in Call of Duty. A lot of fun. Like I said, there were some broken problems with the game, but of course there's always a flaw in every Call of Duty. No matter how balanced or great the Call of Duty game is, there's just always flaws with it. But you know, I thought that was a great game. Black Ops 1 was the very first Call of Duty I ever played. Another great game. Lots of weapons. Great weapon variety in Black Ops 1. They did a really good job with that. FAMAS was too strong, but great, again, a great game. Then we got Black Ops 2, which in my opinion, I think that's the gold standard for Call of Duty. I think that's the best Call of Duty ever made. I think as time's gone on, though, and the game's aged, I don't think the game has aged quite as well as some other CODs, which I'm going to make a video on that, what Call of Duty I think's aged the best of all of them, with the quick scoping and some other things. But like I said, again, best game in my opinion, maps, gun balance and everything. Then we had Black Ops 3, which arguably probably was the best balanced COD we ever had. Of course, jetpacks, but again, Treyarch's whole point in that blah blah spiel there was that I think Treyarch just does a great job with Call of Duty. I think they do a great, they make a great, fun, enjoyable game, great maps, weapon balancing, perk balance. They just do a good job overall. They really do. And like I said, I'm really excited to see what they have in store for us. One of the rumors for Black Ops 4 I've come across, again, it's not confirmed yet. We'll probably hear more about it before you know it. I'm still waiting for Shinobi. If you guys don't follow Shinobi on Twitter, follow him. He usually leaks stuff early too. I haven't seen him post anything yet, but I supposedly Black Ops 4 is supposed to take place in 2020, which, of course, if you guys remember, Black Ops 2 took place in, 2025, and then Black Ops 3 was 2065. So it's going to be a modern game. It's 2 years from where we are now. So it's a modern Call of Duty. It's going to be, kind of going back to the days of Modern Warfare. I mean, that's really what we're getting is a modern shooter, if that's the case. And obviously, if it's 2020, there shouldn't be any jetpacks in the game, because that's, again, if that's the case for the timeline, that doesn't make any sense. We don't have jetpacks until 2065, but miraculously we have them back in 2020. So I'd probably put money down that it's going to be boots on the ground. And if you're asking me what I think, I think Black Ops 4 is basically going to be Black Ops 2 2.0. If I had to make a guess, I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a well-balanced game. I think we're going to have a good league play system. I kind of hope they implement the old league system from Black Ops 2 for all you competitive guys. I used to love playing league play. That was actually the most fun I ever had playing Call of Duty, was league play on Black Ops 2. Just had a blast playing that. But I hope they do that. Like I said, they did a great job, I think, balancing the snipers on Black Ops 3, because on Black Ops 2 that got a little annoying, even though I understand you've got to make the snipers usable in a fast-paced game like Call of Duty is with the small maps. So you can't get too upset with people quick-scoping, just because, I mean, that's it's just the mechanic. It allows them to compete, even though it's kind of irritating still. But I think, like I said, I think Black Ops 3, I think the sniping will be like that. And I think a lot of the gunplay is going to be a lot like it was in Black Ops 2. I think we're going to have some great maps. I'm sure we'll see a lot of the classic 3-lane maps that we typically see in Treyarch games. And like I said, I think it's just going to be a really good year for COD. But I want to know what you guys think. Or do you have any opinions? Do you think, or do you think Treyarch does a really good job with their CODs? Are you kind of looking forward to what Infinity Ward does in 2019? Which I think actually Infinity Ward, like I said, they're always the X factor, just because they've gone through so many studio changes and so forth. I've liked their last 3 games. Well, actually 4 or 5. I've actually liked all the Infinity Ward games. I actually like Ghost quite a bit. I didn't think IW was that bad. All studios have their quirks. IW has always got the great hit detection. Like I said, I think Treyarch does the best balancing, and I suppose Sledgehammer might be the most innovative, but they're probably my least favorite of the group. But I do think World War II is a pretty decent game now. Like I said, it was buggy at the beginning. I don't know if you guys experienced it, but I had a lot of issues with not being able to connect to people in my party a lot, which is irritating, because that's when I enjoy Call of Duty the most, is when it's your buddies playing. That's when I think it's the most exciting. I don't care for playing Call of Duty on when I'm not in a party with somebody. That's why you guys don't see me stream quite as much anymore. Not to mention I'm up at law school, so I can't stream as often as I used to. But yeah, once they got the bugs fixed on here, I think this is a pretty decent Call of Duty. Definitely playable. Again, I think what hurt this game the most was the lack of maps at the beginning of the game. Having, God, what was it, 9 maps, if I remember correctly? I should know that off the top of my head. Forgive me for that, but I think it was 9 maps. I mean, that's just crazy to think that's, we started off COD this year with just 9, but especially not a lot of great maps. I think there's a few decent ones on here. I think Flak's one of the better maps on here. Ardennes Forest, I think, is That might be my favorite, actually. Like, no, Valkyrie is my favorite. It's kind of like a remake of Detroit almost from Advanced Warfare, but Valkyrie's probably my favorite. I like Flak. I like Ardennes Forest. That's probably a close second. I think St. Marie's all right. And London Docks. London Docks is being my top 3 as well. I think London Docks is a phenomenal map. But otherwise, most of the other ones not too great. Gustav. Gustav is a fun map if you're sniping. Or I think actually Gustav's a pretty good capture the flag / search map, like your slower game modes. Usually work better on bigger maps. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What have you guys thought of World War II thus far? Have you been impressed with it? Have you been a little irritated by it? Like I said, I think this game's gotten a little more hate than it probably deserves. Like I said, it's understandable. You work on a game for 3 years and it releases and it just bugs city. It's everything's buggy on it and stuff. I understand people being upset, but like I said, I think that after a few of the fixes, I think it's been going pretty well. One more knock on World War II. I don't know if you guys experienced this, but I think the hit detection in this game is kind of crappy. I think it really reminds me of the older Call of Duties, like World at War. When you go back and play those, a lot of bullets not registering and stuff. But for the most part, I think this has been a pretty decent COD. I'm going to release my top, basically COD 4 through because, like I said, I started playing Call of Duty later in my career. So, but I figured I'd rank them, and we can see where this one ranks up at. But yeah, I just want to know in the comment section, are you guys excited for Black Ops 4? Are you excited? Have you liked this year's Call of Duty, or have you guys moved on? But let me know in the comment section what you guys think. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next video. Bo out.
Well, you can't get off. Maximum